Uh, I'm Ric Springstead, the Stewardship Chairman. Mark and I met months back and talked about what might be the process for our yearly stewardship campaign. And the first thing that came up was, what does stewardship mean anyway? And he gave me a book, and it was a great book. The title of it was, Don't Shoot Your Horse Until You Know How to Run the Tractor. And what the book was about was the traditional stewardship campaign has to do with money. And you've seen me before on that subject, and so everybody goes, uh-oh, here we go, and I'm not going to disappoint. But stewardship is about so much more. And so what we've done in the campaign is a number of things, and I want to see who's been paying attention out there. This is our fourth week of the campaign. And what I want to do is thank the committee members and go over the wonderful experiences we've had in the first 3 weeks. And I hope the fourth week here you'll be okay with you. First, we had Richard Witherspoon come up and talk about how he felt about stewardship and did a fabulous job. And Pastor Mark gave a sermon on God as a giver. Well, also, I don't know if you noticed, but before the service, we had a video. That wasn't it, but we had a video on some of the longtime members, many of which had passed, and their testimonials about Tennyson. Then the second week, we had Luke Anderson. He came up, and he was wonderful, talking about being born in this church, about being a confirmation in this church, about all the youth activities, getting married in the church, baptizing his children in the church, and how much he loved Tennyson. And that week we had a little video on activities of the children before the service. In the third week we had Mary Herron. Mary got up and she talked about all the different services in the community that Tennyson has been involved in for years and years and continues to be involved in. All of these things are stewardship. After Luke's, the pastor's sermon was first fruits, and then after Mary, the sermon was percent giving. Now, he hid it in there pretty good, but it was in there. Then today, I'm going to talk about the challenges that the church faces financially. But I don't want to overlook, again, I'm going to continue to thank people. I want to thank all the speakers, but there was a lot more. We had a prayer team with Molly Means, Lane Beeson, Debbie McLennan, and Jan Rossler. How many of you get that text every morning? I know there's 40 of you out there that do, because there's 40 names on the list. If you don't, we got another week. Get with one of those people, and we'll get you on this daily prayer text. And they're so wonderful, Molly. Thank you for putting that together. Then we had the videos. Today's video was on youth, and that was David Mills. Well, no, that's not true. That was Melissa Pearson, and I want to thank Melissa because she'd done the videos for many of these and made sure we had them to put up there. Then David put together a little jingle that we've had here. And then what I'm going to talk today about is the stewardship commitment forms. You're all excited about this, right? the commitments for next year. Well, let me skip subjects a little here, and I want to thank all those people that have been involved, because there was a bunch. Then we got together to dream, pray, plan, and now we're acting. Okay, we're carrying out our stewardship plan. I have one more question. How many people read their email every week, the Tennyson Weekly Report? I hope it's everybody. If you're not, it tells many things, who we're in prayer for. It tells what committees are meeting, what events we're participating in, wheelchair ramps, etc. And in there were the different parts of the commitment form, which I'm going to go over quickly today. Okay, so we did our dream and our prayers and our plan and our action for the Stewardship Committee, and what we came up with is a theme of growing spiritually. How much do you think about your spiritual growth? You know, the church has two missions, I think, or Christ has two missions for his church. One is for each of us individually to grow in understanding. We are here to listen to Mark and the beautiful music, to get filled with love for the Lord. And what is our role in that love? How do we grow in our spirit, in our spiritual growth? And then one of the themes that Mark puts up is lift up Jesus in all that we do. Lift up Jesus in all that we do. And that's our part of our spiritual group, but there is a second mission of the church, and that is to go out, make disciples of all the world. But how do you do that? Well, it's by your activity in the community. And that's kind of what we focused on, two parts of the commitment card. And I want to go through the commitment card, which is in your bulletin there. And up at the top, Tennyson United Methodist Stewardship Commitment Card, growing spiritually, lifting up Jesus in all that we do. With your time, and you'll recognize some of these because Pastor Mark puts it on the back of his verses every day. And he talks about an uninterrupted 5 minutes of prayer. So the commitment card, number one, is going to ask you, I will endeavor to pray uninterruptedly 5 minutes a day. Pray for your spiritual growth and for what you may do to serve your community and others. Then I will read the scriptures. I will attend worship. I will endeavor to help someone and have faith conversations with the unchurched. And what the book was about, don't shoot the mule before you learn how to drive the tractor, is about every day in society, every Sunday in church, learn about worshiping and growing spiritually. And if we do that, that's our stewardship going forward. And there's no need to have a stewardship drive at the end of the year because we do it every day in our daily lives. The second is talents. What am I going to do? Well, this is a bit repetitive here, but this is more about community. I will serve Tennyson. I will serve those in need. And Mary did a great job of showing how we do that in the community. I will witness Christ to others. And you'll be more comfortable with that as you are doing your prayers and as you're lifting up Jesus and all that you do, and you will feel that this isn't such a burden because you think about it, because Jesus is on your mind. And then you'll bring someone to church. Now, historically, we've always said ask. Mark said that a number, invite. Well, that's fun, and I want you to do that. But bring them here. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? Bring them to church. And now my part of the presentation is grow my giving to tithing. And that's what Mark's going to talk about today. And the first box there to check is, if I have not been giving, I will begin giving regularly. Doesn't matter how much. It's the act of having that in your mind and giving regularly to the church. Continue at my current level. Well, many of you already give, and we have bank deposits and all things are going on. And if that's what fits your family for the upcoming year, that's super. Just check this. We're going to continue. The third box is we're going to step up. You've heard that. Percent giving, you've heard that. We're going to increase our percent giving. If that's where it fits in your life, that's your box. Then if you're currently tithing or want to plan on tithing or going beyond tithing, then that's your box. Now, just one more subject. Why are we doing this? Why am I up here in the first place? We have some challenges. These numbers may not mean much to y'all if you haven't been involved in it, but currently the church is behind this year by approximately $20,000. Now, so my first request from you all is, would each member catch up on their 2023 commitments if you're behind, and or consider increasing your giving in this year. My second part to this is 2024. We've done a budget, which this is an important part of, is folks filling out the campaign and checking their box. I don't know if you noticed, but on that pledge card, nowhere on there did it say, this is how much. Just check one of the 4 boxes. That will tell us what the level of the commitment of the congregation is. So you don't have to write down, by gosh, I'm going to give $100,000 a week, or some number, or $1 a week. It makes no difference. And you don't have to put that. We're fine with that. What are our challenges for the upcoming year? Have any of you experienced any inflation? Well, the utilities, the insurance, the expenses of the church. Well, here's the number one. Over 50% of every dollar we give goes to this fantastic staff we have. This is one of the best staffs we've ever had. They haven't had a raise since COVID, and we've voted to go ahead and give them a substantial increase. But that can only happen with an outpouring of your hearts and gifts. So again, we've got the first most important thing is our staff. They're over 50% of our budget. All those other nuisances, utilities, repair and maintenance, they're about 35 to 40%. And the remaining 5 to 8% goes to our gifts to the different community efforts. So that's where we are and what it adds up to between the 20,000 we need this year in addition and the 30,000 is what that amounts to for next year we're projecting. Please pray and fill out the form to be turned in next week. And then you'll also notice, just for as aids in your packet there, we have step up, how many give at what level of the church. Some people find that interesting. If you're currently giving $20 to $30 a week, there's 4 other people in the church who are, and it tells who's what, where on that. So if that may help you or inspire you, I hope. And then the other is percent giving. On one side is possible income, where you are on that, you can find it, and over on the far right is 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, and you can find yourself on that if that's a help to you. But my request is that you pray, that you find that you grow in Christ's Spirit, and that you find in your heart to give to the congregation. Thank you.